shimmering cities, neon lights everywhere, busy streets filled with people. At first glance, the image feels overwhelmingly advanced and successful. But is this country really the way we see it? South Korea, K-pop, Samsung, ultra-modern cities, a technological paradise. But did you know this country is heading toward a reality where, in a few decades, people themselves may become rare? Where are South Korea's people disappearing to? Let's find out. Small on the map, massive in strategy. On the world map, South Korea is not a very large country. Its total area is about 100,210 square kilometers. Yet this limited land sits in a location where geography is not just lines on a map. It is destiny, politics, and a powerful force shaping the future. South Korea lies in the southern part of the Korean peninsula in East Asia. To its north is its only land border, North Korea, one of the most heavily fortified and tense borders in the world. This border does not merely divide two countries, it defines South Korea's security policy, military spending, and international diplomacy. To the east lies the Sea of Japan, to the west, the Yellow Sea, and to the south, the Korea Strait. This surrounding maritime geography gives South Korea enormous advantages: global trade routes, shipbuilding, naval access, and direct integration into global supply chains. Some of the world's busiest ports are located here, turning South Korea into a major maritime and commercial hub. Geographically, South Korea is a mountainous country. Nearly 70% of its land consists of hills and highlands. This means limited arable land, densely populated cities, and a population concentrated in specific regions. These realities strongly shape urbanization, housing shortages, and the rising cost of living. Yet from this small and constrained land, South Korea has built itself into a strategic power. Located between China, Japan, and the Pacific Ocean, it has become an indispensable player in East Asian geopolitics, militarily, economically, and technologically. This is where South Korea's story begins. A country small on the map, pressured by geography, yet forged into extraordinary strength by that very pressure. The question is, will this geography continue to sustain it in the future? The fear hidden behind the numbers. Many explain South Korea's population crisis in one simple sentence: people are declining. But in reality, that is only the surface. The real fear lies deeper, within the numbers and the collapse of structure. In 2024, South Korea's total fertility rate, the average number of children a woman gives birth to in her lifetime, fell to just 0.75. This means, on average, not even one child per woman. For a country, this is not merely low birth rates. It signals the absence of future generations. The situation becomes even more alarming in comparison. While most developed countries hover around a fertility rate of 1.5, South Korea has dropped to less than half of that. Even many Asian countries facing population decline still have significantly higher birth rates. Regionally and globally, South Korea stands at the most critical position. But this crisis is not just about choosing not to have children. It reflects a deeper social transformation. Marriage is happening later. Parenthood is being delayed even further. The average age for a first child has crossed 30. Career pressure, job insecurity, uncertain futures, and high living costs have turned starting a family into a perceived risk. This directly reshapes population geography. Rural areas are slowly emptying out. Young people move to cities, only to face hyper-competitive, expensive urban realities where having children feels even more impossible. Seoul and its surrounding metro areas grow more crowded, while vast regions of the country are left with aging populations and silence. This is not just a story of fewer births. It is a demographic imbalance. Fewer working-age people, more dependents, pensions, healthcare systems, labor markets, all come under pressure. Many experts warn that if this trend continues, South Korea's population could shrink dramatically within decades, dismantling the familiar structure of society. This crisis cannot be understood through numbers alone. It is the story of a society slowly losing its future, where the question is not just how many people will remain, but whether an active, functioning society can survive at all. The South Korea we don't see. To the world, South Korea represents high technology, global success, and modern life. K-pop, semiconductors, global brands all paint the image of a prosperous and happy nation. But beyond this familiar image lies a hidden and harsh reality that few truly see. The country is infamous for extreme work pressure. In education and employment alike, expectations are relentless. People spend most of their days in offices, classrooms, or exam preparation. Time for rest, or for each other, feels almost impossible. This pressure affects not only the body, but deeply wounds mental health. Depression, anxiety, and loneliness have become widespread among young people. Loneliness itself has become a defining shadow of daily life. More people live alone. Families grow smaller. Close social bonds weaken. Building new relationships or friendships feels increasingly difficult. This isolation affects not only personal lives, but the entire social and economic framework. Housing pressure intensifies everything. Cities like Seoul and Busan are overcrowded and prohibitively expensive. Rent, real estate prices, and daily expenses keep rising. Even when young people want to start independent lives, financial realities force them to delay marriage and children indefinitely. This raises a fundamental question. Does a developed country automatically mean a happy one? South Korea proves that modernization and economic success do not guarantee peace of mind or quality of life. Technology, education, and opportunity may exist, but mental stress, isolation, and social disconnection cast long shadows over this success. This unseen reality reveals a critical truth. No matter how strong numbers, technology, or economies appear, without social and emotional balance, progress remains incomplete. Here, the myth that developed equals happy quietly collapses. The future of South Korea, will it survive? Despite standing on a small map, the challenges facing South Korea are immense. The most serious concern is the shrinking workforce. With birth rates collapsing, the number of working-age citizens will fall rapidly in coming decades. Young people drive economies, innovation, and social renewal, but fewer people mean fewer workers. Threatening industries, technology, healthcare, and essential services, economic and social pressure continues to rise. As the elderly population grows, pension costs, healthcare spending, and social security demands increase. At the same time, young people compete for limited resources, jobs, and housing. Experts warn that if current trends continue, maintaining economic stability over the next 20 to 30 years will become increasingly difficult. Compounding this is the gap between policy and reality. Governments introduce incentives, birth subsidies, family support, immigration reforms. But real life is far more complex. Lifestyle changes, urban expenses, and mental stress cannot be solved by policy alone. Often, government plans fail to align with everyday human experience. The question is clear: can South Korea use its momentum, talent, and strategic planning to hold its ground, or will it slowly fade under the weight of declining births, labor shortages, and social imbalance? That's all for today. We'll meet again with more untold stories from around the world. Subscribe and stay with us.